Croeso, this is James, aka JP Harker, coming to you with another video. This time we're looking at the second book of the Belgariad series. Now I recently read the first one, which is Pawn of Prophecy, and it very nearly put me off the series. It had a few of my own little pet peeves, a few things that I'm not keen on personally, but it also had quite a lot of contrivance in it. And as a rule, if the first book of a series doesn't grab me, I don't continue with it. But there was enough going for it, and I already owned the books, that I thought, oh, I'll give book 2 a go. So this is the second book of the Belgariad, called Queen of Sorcery. Sorry, it's by David Eddings, for those who don't know. Now, it's better than the first one. It is a marked improvement. And the way I could tell that is because I kept actively wanting to continue it. It's not miles and miles better, it's not going to be anywhere high on my list of favourite books, but it has improved. The pacing is a lot quicker. The previous book, it's all the worst things about the first third of Fellowship of the Ring. It's lots and lots of walking to a fairly nebulous destination, and no one really appreciates the stakes, and not a great deal of interest is happening. So that put me off that one quite a bit. We're still on this, we're on a long questy journey through a lot of place names that are largely meaningless and groups of people that are largely meaningless. But it's a lot pacier, there's a lot more stuff happening, there's some more action, and overall it's just a little bit more fun to read. It still has a lot of the same problems. For one thing, this Queen of Sorcery, unless we're referring to Aunt Poll, this Queen of Sorcery doesn't appear till, I'd say, about that much into the book. And it's not like she's some overarching, menacing presence either. I mean, we all know Sauron doesn't make an appearance, but you feel his presence through his minions, and there's this vibe that you're always in danger because of his will. That is not the case here. The bad guys in this are for the most part the same, again, vague bad guys from the previous one. So the book title is a little bit off, because it's not about the Queen of Sorcery. That's not the focus of this book in any way. A couple of other things, and I noted this down. 4 times in this book, Garion happens to overhear a conversation that was vitally important. Now this was happening all the time in Pawn of Prophecy, and I'd really hoped he'd grown out of this by now, but no. He goes off for a walk somewhere, and the force is strong in this one because he will automatically come across some people talking who can't see him, but he can see them, and they'll be talking about something that he really needs to know at this point. He overhears 2 serfs complaining about their lot in life in a very artificial conversation, and then straight away encounters somebody and thinks, ooh, the serfs hate these noblemen, I must act now. No, this was just silly. And I can't remember all 4 of them, but I noted them as I went along. He'll wander off somewhere, overhear something vitally important, and it'll be just so contrived, and that really did irritate me. What's funny, I don't know if it's deliberate, but twice in this book it seems to have a sense of self-awareness. I don't know if it's deliberate or not, because there is an actual line when they're talking to one of the villains about how our merry band got together, and they say, there is no contrivance here. That's not a natural thing to say, and I don't know if it's the author having a joke with us, but I did quite like that. I think part of the same conversation, or a similar later conversation, has them talking about how they got to where they are, and saying the first act was very long and often quite tedious. Again, I don't know if that's the author having a bit of a joke with us, saying yes, the first act was long and quite tedious, or whether it's a mistake, but yeah, I did rather like that in this one. If that's deliberate, then nicely done, Mr. Eddings, you got us there. For Garion, he's somebody who has all of the hallmarks of somebody that you should like, in that he is morally sound and he's quite brave and he's in a situation that he doesn't understand, but he's doing his best. But it doesn't work. And I'm not quite sure why. Maybe I know why, but it doesn't work. The old "this will make people like your character" hasn't worked. I don't like him. I don't care. I don't dislike him. He's just sort of nothingy. And something I really actively, not really dislike about him as a person, but about what they've decided to do with him, is he alternates between being incredibly thick and very perceptive, depending on what the plot needs him to be at the time. When he's talking with Leldorin, with the naive young nobleman, Garion suddenly has this very in-depth understanding about society and the world and people and how things work and why his plans are silly and look at the practicalities. But the rest of the time, Garion is an idiot. He doesn't understand what's happening around him. He needs everything to be explained to him because he's kind of our Watson in this. So when he needs to be clever, he's clever. When he needs to be stupid, he's stupid. And I don't like that. And again, it's not so much a character flaw as a writing about the character flaw, a character inconsistency. So that got to me. I've hammered about this book quite a bit. As I say, it is a marked improvement on book one, and it's made me willing to have a go at the next one, which is Magician's Gambit. So I've just started this one. So it's achieved its purpose in that I've thought, this is improving, I will continue to give it a go, but there's still so much wrong with it that once I run out of books that I already own, I don't know if I'll bother pursuing it further. The next one would have to, like this, make a definite step up over the previous one to tempt me into that. And yeah, it sounds harsh, but we've all got limited reading time, and parenthood is creeping up on me slowly and terrifyingly, so yeah, I'm going to have even less reading time soon. So yeah, overall, I say a middling sort of review for this. Better than the first one. That doesn't make it a cracking book, but I'll give some benefit of the doubt and hope that things continue to improve and that some of these contrivances and pet peeves start to go away. The chosen one trope isn't going to, I know, but hopefully some of the bad things will start to fix themselves. So I've rambled about this quite a bit, and I think I shall leave this video there. So for anyone interested in picking it up, The Belgariad, Queen of Sorcery by David Eddings. Don't be too put off by book one. Have a go. This is an improvement, and I shall keep you posted with how Magician's Gambit goes once I've finished with that. I'll leave it there then. This is James, aka JP Harker. Hwyl fawr.